So this is a great time to start to develop the nostrils, just coming right across. So we've just cleaned up all the work we just did using a very large oval planisher. It's pretty soft. And just being really careful not to get any of the corners on there, just smoothing out both sides real fast. Jumping in now with the next size down here. It's another oval planisher. I'm actually just going to get right in alignment here and start. What's nice about the shape we've just put in is it's a good reminder of just how angled like the flared nostrils can be. I'm going to take more off the side here in just a moment, but this really helps you graduate and make the depth of the tear duct feel much deeper. And it also gives us room to start to push up the bridge of the nose even more. Just going to size down here. I'm going to just going to round that off a little so that it isn't such a harsh edge. Merely double checking there's no corners. This is the same square embosser we were using earlier. And I'm going to use this to flatten out any information in here that I don't like. So by flattening it out and rounding it out, I can carry the high point of the bridge into what will be the side of the nose. And because it's a square, you can fit the corner kind of right there. This is another reason why a square embosser is so handy. The flat sides allow you to follow multi-directional planes with more accuracy. Okay, so before I go on, while I'm here still, I'm going to keep making that mustache just a little deeper here. Jumping right back into that line that we did earlier, following the nose piercing. Echoing the order of operations that we sort of mapped out much earlier in the project. This is a great chance to keep developing those layers. You can see like I'm really trying to work that angle. You know, I'm not flattening and I'm not building like right in on the side. I'm not trying to make a corner. I'm just continuing to round it out so that with each pass, the favored corner goes into the deeper place. So here we have a reminder of the shapes to do next. So essentially everything we've discussed so far, I've gone and done another pass throughout the entirety of the central face. And I have the line against the mustache established using the same technique we do with any of these lines, where essentially I'm using that oval planisher, favoring one corner, and just trying to push one background down while leaving the rest of the metal tall. There's enough happening now to where I'm starting to lose some line work, but there's also, like, you can still see it, but there's also now room for greater facial detail. So that's exactly what we've drawn on in blue. Okay, so in this area, I've established the cheekbones and where the hollows of the mouth would be in here, and the way it will follow very dramatically into all the way up to the peripheral. I've also very clearly established this line from the nasal down to what would have been the side of the mouth. So we have high points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Preserving the height of the nose, we're just leaving that alone. We'll probably need to bump it up a little bit from the inside. That being said, I'm happy with leaving this central ocular a little boxy, but to articulate the glancing, curving structure that is the mouth, making this interior glance down, actually hit a new floor and come out to the cheekbone is fairly important. It's a subtle but realistic way to build a face. And it's one of the parts that I see rushed. So also coming back in to the eyes, and I've just flattened them out a little bit and rounded the eyebrows from the top of the lid up along to the hairline. I've just rounded it. So I've caught you up. You may also notice I've tackled some of the beard layout just to begin dividing the slopes. And I thought this important, and you can see the line right here. Let me grab the light so that the contrast is a little bit more visible. And here, you can see those hammer marks. Okay, so that whole grouping of hair is attached to the side of the face, quite simply, so we know that that layer can be pushed just downward a little bit. And so I've done the same to both sides. I've rounded it out after establishing the line. I planished it down following here, and I've rounded off that curl. This is exactly what I'll do for the rest of the beard. We'll tackle more of it later. I'm still kind of focusing on the face itself. But I wanted to mention I've started cracking into the beard at this point because the face, the central parts of the whole design should be thought of, and we allow them to grow by pushing the surrounding materials down, and that's going to help me start to break up some of this chaos in here. The numerous times drafting this project gave me a lot of time to think about like where the high spots are going to be and what groups of hair do I want to stand out the most, and when will I need access to sculpt these beard rings. We're going to get into it, but I've had a little bit of time to think about it. I've also gone and start to clarify the hairline. So this is much cleaner, and I'm starting to bring some of the line work in all the way through, and I'll start to actually divide up these hair groupings and start to bring them to life a little bit more as I feel more comfortable about the forehead as it develops. I still need to come in, like in the very center skull, it feels a little tall to me, and so we're going to come in and round it off. But I just wanted to talk through what I've drawn on before I hammer on it so that it's quite clear. Because this is not a how to make a dwarf tutorial. This is a facial layout that I'm trying to that I try to articulate through drawings and all sorts of other mediums and in conversations. And it's, sometimes there's no substitute for actually seeing and being walked through the step by step. So hopefully as this piece develops, how I plot out some of these things will help you in your future projects. All right, thanks very much. I'm going to end the video here for today. I might work a little bit longer just to start to bring this to life. So thank you very much again, and let me know if you have any questions.